you want to stare at the TV?
Well, the camera's there, so kind of.
We're live now. You guys are dicks.
TJ's funny, though.
Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Hello there. Another happy landing.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to a special episode of the Escape Pod. I'm here with my wife, Teesha, and my daughter, TJ. And we're going to talk about one of their favorite movies, Hocus Pocus. So first off, why is this one of you guys' favorite movies?
Because it's the Halloween movie of all time.
I was going to say. And I grew up watching it every Halloween.
It's got Bette Midler in it, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Talk louder.
Kathy, whatever her name is.
Najimy.
The costumes are fantastic. I don't know. That's the first time anybody's told me to talk louder, ever. I'm just saying.
I guess I should have done this before we started.
What?
Oh, I forgot to change this shit. All right, we'll just call it that. Okay, so I got you something for Halloween. It's not normally our custom to buy presents for Halloween.
Yeah, why am I getting a present?
Because we're doing this episode, and I figured it'd be a good time to give you said episode. Hi, Kelly. Kelly's in the chat.
Oh, I don't know who that is. Hello. Where did you find them?
The interwebs has everything.
Oh, that's sick,
Dude. So I got... It's very dark. Winifred. Here. Sarah. Dude, those are freaking awesome. Where did you get them?
I just told you. The internet
Mary.
has everything.
Dude, that is awesome. I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
Fantastic. That'll go with my Harley Quinn nurse one. Dude, that is awesome. Is her hair fluffy?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
Kind of looks like it. Oh, no, it's not.
That's sick.
Dude, she's even got earrings. Look.
Look at her. Oh, it's like
Dude, that is awesome. It's like a zombie.
No, that's, I think,
No,
supposed to be her
she's when
powers.
she's shooting
Oh,
the
she's
lightning out of her
shooting her.
fingers.
It's supposed to be a zombie.
So that proves that Winifred Sanderson is a Sith Lord.
Oh,
Whatever.
my goodness.
There, you take that.
Okay,
She's
great.
shooting powers.
So she's going...
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
That is awesome.
So normally we do news and all those kinds of things, but because it's just us, we're not going to do that. So we're going to talk about Hocus Pocus. Came out in 1993, directed by Kenny Ortega and written by Neil Cuthbert and Mick Garris, starring, of course, Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy.
Najimy, that's how you say it.
It is how you say
Well,
it. On October 31st, 1693, in Salem, Massachusetts, Thackeray Binks sees his little sister, Emily Binks, being taken away to a cottage of three witches. There, the Sanderson sisters, Winifred, Sarah, and Mary, cast a spell on Emily to absorb her youth and regain their own, killing her in the process.
well, really, they're sucking her soul.
Right.
I mean, if you really think about it, for Disney, it's kind of dark.
Yeah,
It kind of is.
it is kind of dark.
And then it's about the virgin. Like,
The black
I
candle.
know, like.
That part of the movie I always forget is part of the movie.
Why?
I don't know. For whatever reason.
It's like that's how the Sanderson sisters come back.
Yeah, I know. I understand that. But when I sit down to watch it like that.
Oh, yeah, but if they had a lightsaber, I bet you'd remember that scene forever.
Of course.
See?
But when I sit down to watch it, I'm always like, it starts way back then, and I'm like, oh, yeah.
It's the Salem witch trial.
It just catches me off guard every time.
Okay, sorry we interrupted you.
Sure you are. Thackeray confronts the witches who transform him into an immortal black cat, cursed to live forever with his guilt for not saving Emily. The townfolk, led by Thackeray's friend Elijah and his father, capture the witches. But before being hanged, Winifred casts a spell that will resurrect the witches during a full moon on All Hallows' Eve, when a virgin lights the black flame candle. Unable to convince his father of his true identity as a cat, Thackeray decides to guard the cottage to ensure no one summons the witches.
Well, obviously, he did not do a very good job at that.
You don't say.
But he did, and it was for how many years?
True. I don't.
300 years
See?
later, on October 31st, 1993, on Halloween, Max Dennison is feeling unsettled from his family's sudden move from L.A. to Salem, Massachusetts. Max takes his younger sister Danny out trick-or-treating, where they run into Max's new crush, Allison.
Okay, but to be fair, Max was forced by his little sister to take him trick-or-treating.
This is true.
But he did end up enjoying it.
And there was an Easter egg there that I'm surprised you didn't find when you were researching this.
Well, it's not that I didn't, but
Do you know what I'm going to say?
probably not. But
When they go trick-or-treating, and he comes down the stairs, and his parents are like, oh, what are you dressed as? He's like, I'm a rapper. And he has on his baseball cap and his sunglasses and just his regular clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they're out trick-or-treating, and the bullies come up to him to steal their candy, I'm like, oh, what are you? And his little sister says, for your information, he's a little leaguer. Like, they didn't correlate that at all.
Right.
He was.
In an effort to impress Allison, Max invites her to show him the Sanderson house to convince him the witches were real. Riches.
Keep reading.
Inside the Sanderson cottage, now a dusty, neglected museum, Max lights the black flame candle and inadvertently resurrects the witches. The witches attempt to suck the soul of Danny, but Max comes to her rescue.
Okay.
Escaping, Max steals Winifred's spellbook on the advice of Thackeray, who now goes by the last name of Binks. The witches pursue them to the cemetery, where Winifred raises her unfaithful lover, Billy Butcherson, as a zombie to chase them on foot.
Guess what I found out?
What?
There's a drinking game based on this movie, and every time somebody says Binks, you have to take a drink.
We'd get fucked up.
Dude.
We should be doing that right now.
Well, the movie's not playing. Well, oh.
I'm going to say Binks a lot of times.
Wow.
I don't think you guys could keep up with the stuff I got over there.
Yeah, probably not.
It's probably nasty.
It tastes like dirt.
It doesn't taste like it's whiskey.
You drink shit that tastes like dirt.
You just drink it to make. Never mind. You just drink it to make you seem more manly.
Is that what
you
it
know
is?
it's not good. You know it's not. You're like you like put some ice in it.
I like whiskey.
He's like, here, try this. And it makes my skin crawl before I even swallow and taste of
Because you
it.
just smell it and you're like,
I got cherry and peanut butter.
The peanut butter tastes like dirt.
And then I got a double Kentucky bourbon that would make you sweat.
Well, why do we want to sweat?
You do.
all alcohol makes me sweat. So
The witches tried to acclimate to the 20th century, but are horrified when they discover Halloween has become a festival of disguises. They pursue the children across town using...
These are not hobgoblins. Sorry.
I was just reading what Lunar Girl just said. Oh, Isaac's in the chat too. Hi, Isaac.
I don't know any of you, so hello.
hey,
Here's some trivia. Binks grew up to star on NCIS.
Oh, really?
Lunar Girl says so. I usually believe her.
Who did he play? Who? Oh, I'll ask later.
Isaac is the one who always knows everything. He's like our Jamie from the Joe Rogan podcast. We just go bring that up, Isaac, and he's like, okay.
He's your fact checker.
He is.
He's like, you were wrong.
They pursue the children across town using Mary's enhanced sense of smell. That's one of my favorite things about her, too. She's like,
I smell children.
It's super cute. Max, Danny, and Allison find their parents at a town hall Halloween party where Winifred enchants the partygoers to dance until they die. At Jacob Bailey High School, the children trap the witches in a kiln to burn alive.
Burn them alive.
That's what I didn't say.
That is what you didn't say.
While the children are celebrating, the witch's curse revives them again. Not realizing the witches have survived, Max and Allison open the spell book, intending to reverse the spell on Binks. The open spell book reveals the location of the group, and the witches track them down, kidnap Danny and Binks.
Okay, but if you're not really a witch, how are you gonna cast the spell, though? I always wondered that. I mean, just to try and do it? Because you know the
To
spell?
see if they could do it, remember? And they still weren't able to do it.
That's
Because
why-
only Winifred really has the power of the spell book.
Right.
Remember,
right.
she's like,
So really, it's more so
"Book!"
you should just get rid of the book.
Right. But they were trying to figure out if it would help them figure out how to get rid of them, too. Isn't that where they found the salt trick? Was that in the book? Remember, they take the salt and they make the
Salt.
circle?
Yeah. I don't remember if it was in the book or not.
I don't know either.
I think it was just like their basic knowledge on witches. Too.
Who has basic knowledge? Well, they
You
are
know what
in
I'm saying?
Salem.
Yeah, Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah, they were teaching it in the school.
Kelly says that he played McGee.
Oh, yeah. I know who. Really? I would never put those two together. That's the same human being?
Mm-hmm. Apparently. Bobby McGee.
Bobby
Yeah.
McGee.
And they recover the Grimoire. Back at the cemetery, the witches attack, and Winifred attempts to use the last vial of potion to suck the soul from Danny. Binks leaps on Winifred and knocks the potion out of her hand. Max drinks the potion, forcing the witches to take him instead of Danny.
I do not know if I would do that for Michael. Straight up. Like, you on your own, bud.
You're a dick.
Like, I'm sorry, but they're taking you.
Yeah, but the boys always have to save the girls.
They
Whether
don't
it's their
always
sister.
I don't know. I
whether-
feel like it's
whatever
more
it is.
so the bigger, like, sibling. I always looked at
Yeah.
it more as, like, the big sibling. Screw that.
Whatever. I've seen you stick up for your little brother when somebody was
Mhm.
picking on him or whatever.
Yeah,
and you're
without
like,
even
Remember when
thinking
I
about
got
no.
a bus ticket because I was
Yeah.
screaming on the bus when they were yelling at Michael because all the kids were like, shh, shh. And I'm like, no. Shh. And I was like, la, 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 la. So then I got in trouble.
I think you
but-
would stick up for him.
But a witch is a witch. Like, do you want both your kids to die or just one?
I would in the movie. I wouldn't even know what's going on. I'd be dancing my night away.
Night away, for real.
The sun rises just as Winifred is about to finish draining Max's life force, and due to standing on hollowed ground in the cemetery, she turns to stone before being disintegrated into dust along with her sisters.
So I thought they weren't allowed to step on hollow ground at all, though.
Well, part of the cemetery wasn't hollowed ground. That's why Danny had to stay in that one certain spot, remember? So if they're above ground, she can grab them, but she was on her broom. That's why they always made Danny get down into the grave.
Makes sense.
And then when the sun came up, she was holding Zachary. No. What's his name? Max. And that's when she turned to stone.
With the witches gone, Max, Danny, and Allison say goodbye to Billy
Who was the best?
as he returns to the grave. Binks finally dies, freeing his soul, appearing as a spectral force ghost.
Yeah, we know. We're not dumb. Thanks for the...
No,
The clarification.
I'm saying he was a Jedi. Force ghost.
Yeah, okay.
No?
No.
All right.
Moving along.
No.
Binks thanks the children for their help and bids farewell to them as he is reunited with the spirits of his little sister, Emily.
Makes me cry almost every time.
But you wouldn't die for your brother? You're watching the
Not with a witch.
the unification of a brother and a sister.
Like,
that
they're
makes you
sucking
cry.
his
I'll take a
So,
bullet
like-
for the fucker, but witches are out of the question.
For real. Hell no, dude. If they're sucking his soul out, I might be like, I don't know about all that.
Nah, you weren't using it anyway. The exhausted partygoers, including Max and Danny's parents, oblivious to their enchantment, are freed when the spell is broken. Meanwhile, at the Sanderson cottage, Ice and Jay, who previously tormented Max and Danny, remain imprisoned in cages and sing "Row, row, row your boat" to pass the
That
time.
was a good one.
Winnie's spell book is seen opening its eye, revealing it is still alive and the witches could possibly return again.
So
Leaving it open
hopefully-
for 2.
And I keep hearing about
They
it.
better just do it.
Well,
Do you think they would do it in like modern day century though?
pretty sure right now they're in pre-production for.
So it's happening.
Yeah,
They'll probably do like
Yeah, but with the same witches?
yeah, I believe
they
so.
should. If not,
I don't
that
think
will-
anybody else could play Winifred other than Bette Midler.
No.
Yeah, I'm not sure they would even bother.
I mean, even I would still be hurt if they got rid of like if they switched the other ones.
Let me look it up on IMDb.
Sarah and Mary.
Yeah.
Like you
How
can't
did
do
she
that.
keep her mouth turned to the side like that the entire
Like-
time?
I don't know.
And she would smile like that?
Maybe she has like a.
I wonder if they taped it or something.
or
No,
may-
because she doesn't. Like when you see
in
a picture,
person. I
yeah.
was gonna say maybe she like half of her side of her face don't work.
Yes, they are all included in the cast.
Dude, that rocks.
Is it you know the guy that produced it or directed it, whatever, Kenny
Kenny
Ortega?
Ortega.
Did he do High School Musical?
In pre-production.
That name sounds really familiar.
Because he directs us so many things.
I was gonna say I feel like he's High School Musical.
Who?
Kenny Ortega. That might be wrong, but I feel
He
like
does a lot of things.
I feel like I heard he did High School Musical or something like that.
Was he one of the writers? Or
Maybe.
the director?
Director.
This is being directed by Adam Shankman.
I don't know who that is.
So they changed it. Well, he
Must
better
be.
do a damn good job.
He directed the last Hairspray movie, A Walk to Remember, Rock of Ages,
So he's done a lot. So I've heard that name. I was gonna say that name.
Cheaper by the Dozen,
What?
Are you talking about the new director or Kenny Ortega?
the new director.
Oh, I was like, no, Kenny Ortega. What it?
The original director was Kenny Ortega.
I told you that.
Kenny Ortega,
He's
High
done-
school? Is that
yeah,
High School Musical? I
yep.
told you.
Oh High School Musical. This is it, the one about
Michael
Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
I was gonna say Kenny Ortega sounds really familiar. and
Whatever
that's
the
'cause-
Descendants is.
Oh, it's
Oh,
like
that was
a
a good one.
really.
It was kind of corny, but I mean,
I mean, Disney movies are corny.
it was
though.
about the kids of superheroes and villains.
Oh,
I'm surprised you didn't watch it
I never heard of it before.
with your nerddom.
Well, that looks very Disney.
It is very Disney, but
is.
it's got a good baseline story.
Yeah, see, I don't get
I mean,
involved.
Star
in-
Wars is kind of hooked up with Disney,
Well,
and you love that.
yeah, but
So
Wow,
don't be
we-
hating on Disney.
I didn't know you was going to be a smart ass this early in the day.
It ain't that early.
I mean, we did raise her.
Yeah, I know. So, like we talked about before, this is one of you guys' favorite Halloween movies.
It's an all-time.
It's all-time favorite? Like maybe top 10
Halloween.
or...
Oh yeah, for sure. For me, it is. But I love Bette Midler and everything that she does. But she did a phenomenal role as the lead in this movie.
Yeah, it's
Maybe.
pretty impeccable.
Like all of her demeanor and her animations that she did, it was all awesome.
and everybody that watches it that hasn't watched it is always like, "That was a good movie."
Right.
Like I've never heard someone be like, "Hocus Pocus sucks."
Yeah.
And if it did, you're
Right.
like, "You suck. Something's
No.
wrong with you."
Every Thanksgiving time, every Halloween time, we have a family tradition
Mm-hmm.
where we all get together at least one time.
And
Mm-hmm.
watch a movie.
We eat popcorn and cheese and apples and
Apple
apple
cider.
cider and
Fall dinner is what we call it.
yeah, fall dinner. And then we sit there and we watch
Hocus
movies like
Pocus,
this. What other movies do we
Casper.
watch?
Halloweentown.
Dad don't like that one though.
I know he doesn't
Yeah,
like
but
any.
it doesn't
of them.
matter what I like.
No,
This
I
is what
was-
we do.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Christmas.
Ooh,
The Addams Family.
The Littlest Vampire.
Yes, I haven't watched that movie though.
Dude,
in a
I got it
long
pulled out right now.
time.
I need to watch it because I have it pulled out.
That
'cause
was
I
a
haven't
good
seen
one.
it.
I was gonna say
We like Twitches.
Twitches was a good
Usually
one.
we have to settle on a couple. And we always settle on the ones we
like
haven't seen in a long time.
But I was gonna say, I think that's all the Halloween movies, aren't there?
No, there's the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, I just watched that. Haunted Mansion was a really good Disney.
With
We
Eddie
watch,
Murphy.
sometimes we watch Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I just
Beetlejuice.
watched that.
Beetlejuice is kind of spooky too, but it's not Disney, I guess.
Twitches.
You already said Twitches.
Did I?
Mhm.
I don't know. What else did we watch?
Charlie Brown's Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched Charlie Brown.
Which is
Great
no
Pumpkin.
longer on TV, and that.
But it's on Apple TV.
Well, I don't got Apple TV.
I do.
So,
I mean, you have to come visit me.
well,
You'll have you will. I think I'll see you way more often.
shut up.
So now,
Sleepy Hollow.
oh yes,
with Johnny Depp.
Corpse's Bride.
Yeah.
Corpse
Frank
Bride.
and Weenie.
Frank and Weenie.
Monster
yes.
House.
The Haunted Mansion. Did you bring that?
Yeah,
up?
we
Yep.
said that. Which the ride in Disney is like spot on.
Scream.
Yep.
I have-
And there's that one that you had me watch that you liked.
Monster Squad.
No.
Wolfman's got nards.
Oh no.
Space Invaders.
Mm-mm.
I love that one too.
What's that one killer clown movie?
Oh, Killer Clowns from Outer
Outer
Space.
Space.
Yes, that one.
Not really a Halloween movie as
No.
much as it's just. Well, I think
know.
that does take place at Halloween.
Clowns remind me of Halloween, so it's
it-
not.
Yeah. So one of the central sources for all of this is Hallmark Channel and
No, Hallmark doesn't do Halloween.
Freeform.
Hallmark does like.
Hallmark doesn't do Halloween.
No, Freeform does the
Freeform?
31 days of Halloween.
Yeah, because Hallmark's already doing Christmas
Yeah.
movies. They don't do. They just skip right to Christmas.
Where else do you get them from? Because
Disney,
Hulu, Disney
Disney.
Plus,
Disney.
Prime,
Prime has some.
My Cupboard.
The Addams Family was one of my is probably one of my favorites.
Oh,
The
yeah.
more
Did you
I
see
watch
the new
it.
one?
Yeah, that was.
It was not that cool.
That wasn't it.
Oh, you're talking about the cartoon.
The cartoon one, yeah.
We
that
forgot Hotel Transylvania.
was what, and that's one of my favorites. Skylar likes that movie a lot too. He's always like, "Want to watch a Halloween movie?"
Is
I'm
that
like,
the one with
"Sure."
the
Adam Sandler
Adam
is
Sandler.
That's, yep.
Dracula.
Isaac brings up Ghostbusters. That's always a
Yes.
staple at Halloween.
There's so many good Halloween movies. Honestly, I feel like there's almost more better Halloween movies than Christmas movies.
And that's not even getting into like horror movies. Those
no,
are just
that's just
these
like
are just
family friendly.
Mhm.
Because years ago, when you guys were little itty bitties, it used to make me crazy. I started this tradition where we sit down and this is what we would do as a family. We would have fall dinner.
Uh-huh.
We would pick out Halloween movies, and it was all family time for the entire night. And we do it for Christmas. We've done it for Halloween, so it's been. I think that's why it's more special to like me and you, because it's something that I started when you guys were
Little, and
Tiny.
I'll keep on if I ever have kids. But
But it's a good memory for all of us.
Might be an awesome aunt thing to do.
I do it with Taylor.
Mhm.
So yeah, we'll just have to all come over
Yeah,
together.
which is fine. I told you, bring Taylor whenever. So I think that's why. And one of our go-to movies every time is Hocus
Hocus
Pocus.
Pocus.
No matter how many times we've seen it.
Even though most of us are all like, we've already watched it, but let's put it on
That's like the hallmark. I could recite that movie word for word.
because
Yeah.
it's a good movie.
And we can probably sit down and do this again once at Thanksgiving.
There's
And
not really
But
then at
Thanksgiving
Is
Christmas.
there
movies.
any Thanksgiving?
I guess really not.
There's
Charlie
like
Brown's
Charlie Brown's
Thanksgiving. That's the only
Thanksgiving.
But
Thanksgiving I know
we do
about.
do this at Christmas too.
Yeah, we do.
There's a big
Yeah, there's a lot of Christmas movies that we sit down and all watch.
like gathering of we get together and we
Why did it drive me more crazy?
Because
'Cause she didn't
of
do
her
Halloween.
religion, and she didn't agree with the
Oh.
Halloween shows, and she thought that I
Has
was
she ever
showing
watched
you guys.
Hocus Pocus though?
Yes, and she loves it, though she can't verbalize that.
So we'll just say she
Stop it!
loves
You're gonna get her in trouble with God.
No, I won't.
Oh.
And
Well,
Halloweentown, that's one of my favorites. I know
Halloween-
it's corny, but
Halloweentown's a good one though, and they have a there's a city in the United States that like sets
Yeah.
up for Halloweentown. I don't know where it's at, but
It's
like
in Oregon.
I want to do
How cool would that be for us to go to? With the big pumpkin in the center of the town.
Other
and
than when
everything.
they took the original Marnie out and just tried to add in
Yeah,
that other girl.
that didn't work
And you
well.
know why they did that? Just because the original Marnie, she was produced in another show or whatever
Mhm.
for a month or two, and they were like, "Well,
That was a bad
we
choice.
want to do it right now." Yeah, because they got way less reviews on that last one. You can't just change the main character like that. Like, oh, here's the new Barney. Like, no, it ain't.
You'd be surprised what movie studios think they can do.
And then it ruins it.
Yep.
Just like when they kind of did that with Transformers, just took everybody out and gave them the same name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You can't do that.
Yeah, all the Transformers were weird and their voices were fucked up. And,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like they tried really hard on the first one, but then the rest of them, they're just like, fuck it. These kids will buy anything. And then we'll blow it up.
Yeah, nope, it don't work like that.
But we all, like I was saying, we also do the same thing at Christmas. We can at least have a conversation about that sometime in December where we sit down and everybody gets a gift, that's like the night before Christmas kind of thing. Get
With our
pajamas and popcorn, and
Favorite candy.
you always make
Oh, no,
everybody
that's on
a-
Christmas Eve.
yeah,
That's a Christmas Eve box. So everybody
Yeah.
comes to the house on Christmas Eve. It's a tradition we watch White Christmas if me and Papa are here, no
Yep.
matter what.
National
No, we
Lampoon's
watch
National
White
Christmas
Christmas
Vacation.
on Christmas.
One of those 2 days.
I was going to say, we
National
always
Lampoon's Christmas is an absolute must. But everybody gets a new set of pajamas. They get their own bag of popcorn. They get one of their favorite treats, a hot cocoa.
Because we big around here.
And a
Yeah, we are
candy cane.
Midwesterners, so.
And a candy cane for the hot chocolate.
Mhm.
And heaven forbid, one year I didn't make up those boxes.
Oh, I remember.
Woo! I was like, you guys are
And
grown.
I was like 17, 18. Like, why did I not get a Christmas Eve box?
Yeah, that was when Maggie moved in.
Oh, yeah, and you guys try. I'm like, no.
No, because Maggie got a Christmas Eve. I had to hurry up, and we went out and we bought all the stuff for Christmas Eve
Because
boxes.
you just moved I moved my best friend in without really saying anything. I
No,
was
you
just-
asked us.
Well, that was because she was staying the night with us every night. So I'm like, here, she just is like permanent.
Kelly says that they have real similar seasonal family traditions like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes holidays holidays.
Yeah.
though.
Well, and you have to create those cornerstones that keep bringing everybody back to a thing, because your whole year is based on that anchor point.
to be able to do something with
It's
your
important.
family.
True.
It's important. I think that some families go a little bit like ape shit on traditions, and they just make them cumbersome and people can't stand
Yeah,
them
I don't
anymore.
think we really do that. We just find a night where we can all, because we're all so busy, and I work night shift anyway, so we just find something that works.
It's really just a couple times a year we have a thing that we do.
Now, last year, me and TJ was that last year? We went to the Hocus Pocus play,
Oh, that was
the
cool.
live rendition. That was awesome.
That was it on Halloween?
It was not on Halloween, but it was in the month of October, and it was awesome up at the
That
Redford
was
Theater.
well,
Oh, yeah,
because
'cause-
they just acted it out with the movie on the back.
So
Yeah, they did it
s-
like Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah, so they did it like a
Yes.
silhouette where they played the movie on the back screen, and then all of the actors played it out. And the funniest thing was Binks. They
They had him on a remote control car,
Oh, yeah.
so
yeah.
he was
Scoot
like
him all over.
scooting
Mhm.
around.
And then when he was flying, they would just throw him across the stage.
We're
It was-
like, whatever, it works.
You guys, we dropped you guys off, and me and Sky went and played roulette, I think.
Yes, that was awesome though.
That was awesome.
And the cast was cool. We got to meet the cast afterwards.
Take pictures with them. And the Winifred looked like Winifred.
Yeah.
They did really good on that. That was super cool. But no, we got COVID. So
One of my favorite things about the movie is though the costumes. I think that they were
they did a really good job on like, when was it? 300 years ago from 1993, whenever that time period was, compared to like the
It was
more
during the Salem
modern.
witch trials.
Yeah,
That's the time period.
I'm gonna say that it was 1693.
It's just crazy because it looked like six.
You're a dick.
Well, I don't know. It looked like that time period. You know what I'm saying? It was just crazy because it went from looking so old to like, okay, it's looking a little newer.
But they were, and all of the costumes are very detailed. Like when you watch the movie, if you watch it very closely, you can see like Winifred's socks are striped, and then she has a layer of orange. She has a layer of purple. She's got the layer of the green. I loved the costumes.
And it was funny.
It was.
There's a lot of funny little remarks where you're like, okay. Some of them are kind of hidden, but.
What?
Oh, it's just this. I didn't know that there was these emojis.
So what's your favorite
Halloween movie other than Hocus Pocus?
No, your favorite scene of Hocus Pocus? Because I think we're supposed to be just discussing Hocus Pocus, correct?
Well,
Like that's the.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we
Can
can.
I just say that I'm gonna just hold this? Cause,
You're gonna hold the baby.
yeah, look at him. It
Be
looks
careful.
So real.
Kelly gets really jealous when you're holding the
But he
baby.
looks real
Is it
when
like
you
a
look at him.
dog toy?
No, it's not a dog toy. It's like a real
What
doll.
if he really looked like that?
Then he wouldn't be so cute, and nobody would love him.
You just dented in baby Yoda's head.
She didn't mean that.
What the fuck, man?
It got stuck because I was trying to feel what it felt like.
But like, look, if Dad holds it way over here, doesn't it look like it's right out of the Mandalorian? That's just like the real looking baby.
Yeah.
Do that baby thing.
It's so
Do
cute.
the hand thing, baby.
Trying to think of my favorite part.
Now, me and
Right
Kelly.
when they're all the I put a spell on you scene.
Me too.
That's a
Where they're
really
all-
good scene,
when-
and like they're
when-
all just dancing, having a good time, clueless.
And Max gets up
trying
on
to get
stage
everybody to
and
be like,
telling everybody,
hello. They're right there. They're like, it's Halloween.
What a marvelous introduction.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite scene.
And even all the
Definitely.
costumes in that room were pretty phenomenal.
The Madonna one.
So
That was a good one. Can you guess who I am?
with their big
They're-
long cones.
They're like, no.
I did run into a really super interesting Easter egg that was in this when I was getting into it. There's really not a lot. It's kind of an original work.
yeah, it is.
It's not really
What's the
inspired
Easter
by
egg
anything.
mean?
It's like something that is in reference to something from some other.
Like another book or movie or
Yes.
something?
This is not really in reference to anything, but remember at the end when they're celebrating, dancing around the big fountain?
Yeah.
That's the same fountain that they used in the intro for Friends.
Really?
I
I
was
didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was like, that's weird. Must be shot from a different angle.
But it's the same. Well, when you
Huh.
think about it, though,
That makes sense.
I mean, there's probably just produced on the same set.
Well,
Here's-
think about like when we go up north or whatever and we're taking all those pictures.
Mhm.
Sometimes we take 2 or 3 pictures from exactly the same place from a different point of view, and it looks like you're completely somewhere else.
I gotta tell you, being in this close proximity,
Mhm.
your mints that you're addicted to, that's all I'm getting.
Me too.
Really, it's like right in my
I
face.
mean, at
like
least
I'm
it's
tasting
mint.
your mint.
Yeah, it's at least
It
it's
could
not
be
a
like
cigarette.
dog shit.
I could. So the dancing scene was her favorite. Another one of my favorites is the flying scene. And I think that the flying scene when they're over the cemetery, the reason why it's one of my favorites is because I watched a documentary. What? And all 3 of them, when they asked what was their favorite part about this movie, it was that flying scene. Because they actually did it. They did the stunts. And they had to learn, like Sarah Jessica Parker, when she does those flips, she actually did those. It wasn't a stunt double or anything.
Oh, like when she's doing the.
Yeah. And they just said that they had so much fun doing
Probably would have been funny too.
all of the flying that they wish they could have done way more flying scenes.
Honestly, out of all
Like the
Disney movies,
vacuum,
that's
that
probably one of
cracks
the
me up.
best ones they did. I mean, I like a lot of Disney movies, but
Yeah.
that one's just
Most of
perfect
my
all
favorite
around.
stuff is when Sarah Jessica Parker does something.
Muckety muck muck muck.
Is really
She's
like
my
silly,
favorite,
and
'cause
then
she's just
the other
so-
ones scold her.
And she's just
But,
still like,
Yeah, the scene where she's like, "Amok, amok, amok, amok." Would you knock that off?
Yeah. Or she's testing out the road.
Uh-huh.
it's solid.
Yeah, it's just really like her character is so
And then
willfully ignorant.
She is willfully ignorant, and the sisters take advantage of it because they always make her test everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they're
Like shove her into it.
Yep.
It's a road of lava. It's hard. And she starts jumping around on after they push her out onto it to see if
Right.
it's safe.
Right. She doesn't even realize that she could have been in
well,
danger.
it's a road.
Well,
The bus driver scene when she's sitting on his
Oh
lap.
yeah, yeah.
We
She
didn't
gets
talk-
all
That's a good scene too.
Yeah.
she gets all
Or the
feisty
cop
with
where
it.
Max walks up to the guy who's dressed up as a cop and he's like,
And he's a fake cop.
he's like, "Sir, the Sanderson
Yeah.
sisters are loose, whatever," and the cop's just like,
Totally
"Whatever,
rolls
kid."
with it.
I know, just rolls with it. Whatever,
Right.
kid, get home.
Are you for real a virgin?
Yeah, for real. Like the whole thing is
There's
just
just
based
so
off the
many.
Virgin lighting the candle.
How did you
It's like,
not? How do you always forget that scene? Like the whole thing is.
Based
That's
off
how the
him.
Sanderson sisters come back.
For some reason, I just remember the body of the movie, and then I
don't.
forget that there's like this long setup at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a 15-minute setup, and I just doesn't even occur
Don't
to
even
me.
think about it.
And then every time it happens, I'm like, oh yeah, this is how this starts.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually quite a few movies that I go back to and watch that have scenes that I just completely must check out on.
There's a lot though in that movie that's going on all the time. Like every time I watch it, I pick up something
Something
different.
new.
Mm-hmm.
Like when at the beginning when Max is up in the loft of the witch's cabin or whatever, now it's a museum. I never noticed until this year that when he's up there and the Sanderson sisters have I don't think it's Max. I think is it Max? No. This is the setup when Binks is up in the loft and it's his sister in the chair. The reason why they find out that he's even in the cabin is because his sweat drops from his forehead.
What?
Yeah, watch
Oh,
it.
so they smell it.
Well, and it alerts them, and then it's a whole big
Thing.
chasing scene, and that's when he becomes a cat.
And then the part where she's like, "I smell children,"
Yeah.
and then she's like, "Well, there's one right there."
Mm-hmm.
Like
And he's up in the loft.
loft still.
But it's his drop of sweat, and I don't know why I've never paid attention to that. And then
I
this
didn't
year
know that
caught it.
either. I thought it was because he moved something.
It was his drop of sweat.
Wow, I'm gonna have to watch that part again. I just watched it last night. But there is always a lot going on in it.
There's so much to see and do. Like Mary, she can't find her broom because the kids steal it, so she uses a vacuum cleaner to
Yup.
fly around
Yeah.
on.
It works. She got there.
But one of the all-time best acting out of the whole thing, other than the three sisters, is what's his name? Why can't I think of his name all of a sudden? Who's the zombie guy? Billy. Like all of
Butcher.
his
Billy
Butcherson.
Billy Butcherson.
Bitcherson. You bitch.
Because he does phenomenal with all of his body movements and the way he dances and how he just moves his head. And then he cuts his mouth open and all the moths fly out. And he's like, oh. And then he cusses out Bette Midler, tells her what a piece of crap she is after all these years.
Yep. Yeah, he was a good one. A nice little additive to it.
And he was a fantastic addition to that cast. Like, he did a phenomenal role playing and everything that he, like, every mannerism that he did, every move, he was in full character. I think he did a fantastic job.
Well, let's hope Disney don't ruin it. The second one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I found out is the kid that plays Thackeray Binks does not do the voice of the cat.
Wait though, how? Because
The people,
he has the same voice as
I think the other
So-
person was almost trying to do
like
like a tone match when he was talking, but they didn't think that the kid that played Thackeray sounded period enough when he was talking. Like he must not have been able to master the
dialect or
Yeah.
whatever.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
that's I would have never thought that because it sounded like his same voice.
hmm
Wow.
They may have pitch modulated the
A little
voice
bit
to
to
make
make
it
it
kind
seem-
of line up.
I had no clue.
That's 92. They could do that kind of shit then.
93.
93. Well, 92 is when they would have made it.
True. Because movies take forever.
And there's not a lot of computer generated
No,
anything in
it's
it.
almost
It's
all practical effect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what I liked about it too, because it was very practical, all of it.
Mhm.
Everything that they did.
It didn't look animated or anything at all.
Right.
It just looked real. Like real things were happening. They were really flying. So were they on like? How were they flying then? They just had them on
They're on wires.
On
wires and
harnesses and wires.
Mm-hmm.
that would be so much fun.
Cranes and stuff.
Mm-hmm. But
That's
they did say
awesome.
that was one of their
Most favorite things.
yeah.
Probably because it'd be funny too. Watching everybody.
But even the
struggle.
music in it is awesome. Like I put a spell on you when he unintentionally introduces the three witches at the town Halloween party where all the grown-ups are.
Mm-hmm.
And Bette Midler and the three sisters get on stage, they instantly transform into the performers of the show. Like Bette Midler just took full control of that room,
Right.
you know? And then she just belts out that song because I still think she's a phenomenal singer.
So she actually sang them.
Yeah. I put a spell on you and she just belts that out.
Mm-hmm.
And like her whole performance, even during
That was just the best scene,
Yeah.
I think. It was amazing all around. Her performance, her singing.
the dancing, all of it.
It seemed so hype in there.
Mm-hmm. She's an incredibly powerful singer.
And actress, I think. She just
What
owns
else has
whatever,
she been in, though? I feel
everything. She's been in so many things.
I just feel like I have not.
IMDb always knows.
Maybe I suck because I just feel like I've not. Well, maybe I have, but I just don't know what. I just feel like
She was in a war movie, I think, called For the Boys. Beaches.
Beaches.
The First Wives Club.
Yep.
That was good.
not watched any of those.
These are-
Ruthless People, I think, was her first movie, and
Beaches was one of her first ones, I think.
yeah, well, yeah.
She's actually been in a lot, and she's been in a lot of supportive roles.
Says
in
she's
movies.
been in 59 films.
Yeah, she's.
Oh, so she's been in
Yeah.
a lot then.
Yeah.
I've seen Sarah Jessica Parker.
A whole-
But like you can't even like, because I like to do the, I like to listen to Halloween music during the month of October. Not like scary shit, but like songs from Hocus Pocus
I
and
must have heard
Halloweentown.
the Purple People Eater 3 times when we were up north.
He did, in 3 different versions, I might add.
Down and Out in Beverly Hills was one of the first ones she did.
You can't
Outrageous Fortune.
download Bette Midler singing that song.
You can?
No.
Why?
I don't know. And you can't download Sarah Jessica Parker singing the Come to Me Children song.
Which you would think
Like when
would just
she's
be
on
in
that
their
broom.
It's not
soundtrack.
on the soundtrack?
It's
No.
not on their soundtrack?
Nope, I can't find the
What about on
soundtrack.
Spotify?
I tried Spotify. I tried not Pandora. What's the other one that we have?
Slacker?
Slacker.
She was in Stella.
But it's always somebody else that
Right.
sings it. It's not them that sings it.
Scenes from the Mall.
But it's not Sarah Jessica Parker singing it, nor Bette Midler. See?
Yeah. Why though?
I don't know.
They just have like that original song almost.
That's
Say that's a
weird.
part of the Hocus Pocus soundtrack. So they're like, you gotta watch that on YouTube. You don't get that version.
She's been in quite a few movies.
Yeah, a ton.
Well, she's a good actress. They all
They all did a fantastic job.
But she just kind of stole the show.
Well, she was the lead, so.
She was the voice of Grandma in the new Addams Family movie.
I can't believe I didn't pick up on that.
Winifred was?
No, Bette Midler was.
Well, Winifred, it don't matter. Now I'm stuck saying her Winifred. Yeah, that new Addams Family movie, that just
It was disappointing.
they did horrible on that. That got a 1-star rating. From
1-star rating from
Not
TJ.
even.
Hot take, 1-star rating from TJ.
For real, me and Skylar watched it and we're like, ew. We just stopped watching it. Like, what is this?
Mom wanted me to go to the theater, and I'm like, I don't want to. And didn't you go with Mikey?
I think Freddie.
Maybe.
I watched it in my bedroom, honestly, because
I think I took Freddie.
I heard a bunch of people talking
How
that
do
it was
you guys
bad.
sit on these chairs? They're terrible.
We need new chairs, but we need to pay this off first. Because this is same as cash, so
Well, your sound
yeah,
board.
that's got to get paid off before new chairs. So we're sitting on these chairs for a while.
Well, there's maybe your Christmas present.
So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about? We've been going about 45 minutes.
I don't know. What else do you like about it?
We talked mostly about it. I feel like it was just good. It was a great movie.
It was good enough that it's going to be one of your Halloween movies
for the rest of my life.
Old. Like people still sit and
sure.
watch Gone with the Wind and
And White Christmas and all that. Yep, you're just gonna watch Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
There was just not
Casper is one of those movies
Casper
though too.
too. Which one though?
The live animated, not live
The one with
animated.
Christina Ricci.
With Christina Ricci,
Yeah.
and they move into
The house and that's
they have
one
to
of my
eradicate
favorites.
because her dad is the ghost counselor.
But same with Addams Family. That's one of my
Yeah.
favorites too, and Beetlejuice. Those are all
Beetlejuice
movies
is
I
another
feel
one
like
that you can't
Now,
ever watch.
and it's good for like everybody. Like if you don't like certain things like Hocus Pocus,
So
like
you know what me and Dad found on Beetlejuice this year? Because he's got to have that ginormous TV in the living room. You can see people's burgers and nose hairs on.
Jeez.
I'm not kidding you.
Well, it's
It's
probably just
terrible.
because your living room's so small. You're so close
Okay, but
to it.
You're 18 feet away from the TV.
It is too big for the
How
living
big's your
room.
TV?
It's only 65.
Because I got a 55 and my TV's pretty
And
big.
your living room
55
was way
would
bigger
be
than
more
ours.
appropriate.
A 55 would be way more
You want to
appropriate.
trade?
No.
He won't give it up. I've tried.
Well,
So
his
anyways-
TV's probably way more than mine.
You know the head shrinking scene in Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
Where he's sitting on the couch, he steals the head shrinker's number 1 and throws him his, million number. And then the head shrinker does this to him. You can't see it on a smaller TV, but on that huge TV, you can see right here across his
Right, where they
a
cut the two
black
pieces of
where they
film
literally
together?
cut the film and put it together when his head shrinks down. You would not. I've never noticed it except for now we have this ginormous TV. You can actually see all the little things like that.
There's all kinds of shit like that. Like when you watch the old Ghostbusters movie or whatever,
Yeah.
there's just shit that,
You're like,
when you watched it
Well,
on
it
a
wasn't-
27-inch TV that was on VHS, you'd never seen it. But then when
Never.
you watch it on Blu-ray on a 70-inch TV, you're like, holy shit, why did they put that out?
well, it's because mainly back then when they made that movie, the TVs weren't that big. So they're
Right.
like, oh, well,
I
they missed
wonder
that.
if they didn't see it. Because you would think that they wouldn't leave that in if they seen that gap. Like maybe because it's
Now
not
I have
as
to watch
detailed.
it.
Right.
Now I'm going to have to watch that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe it just doesn't play.
And you know what else takes away having that ginormous TV? Not just that, but all special effects, like even makeup and costume. So like in Beetlejuice, when she's floating above the table and she's wrinkling and she's dying off because they've brought her back in her wedding dress. On regular TV, you're like, oh wow, that looks really cool. How the hell they do that? And then you watch it on our TV and you're like, that is the fakest looking shit I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
When I watched Beetlejuice on our TV 2 weeks ago or whatever, I saw that too. I'm like, this looks really fake. But when I was a kid, I was like, didn't look that fake to me, or I just
But then when
didn't
you watch it
realize
on a smaller screen, like if I watch it on my iPad,
it don't look like that.
it doesn't look like that.
Yeah. I imagine that. Okay, so when I used to work at the Commonwealth Center, I finish construction, and I worked with this old guy, and you'd fuck something up a little bit, and he says, "Fine, they'll never see it from Norval." For people that don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, Norval is this itty bitty shitty town, like 50 miles from where we're at, 35 miles from where we're at. And I think they probably took that same approach when they were editing these movies, doing special effects. They were like, well, they'll never see it when they're sitting there watching it. Because, the thing that they're watching it on
It's not
doesn't
going-
have that level of
Yeah.
detail. So,
That's probably why all them older movies were like, ooh.
right. And that's why a lot of this
rough.
stuff, when it
But
comes...
what year was Beetlejuice made? Because I don't feel like
It's-
Hocus Pocus. I find stuff like that in Hocus Pocus. And that was
Beetlejuice
made in
was
the
probably
before-
like
80s.
87.
So was it in the 80s, maybe?
It depends on if it was before or after
1988.
Batman.
Yeah.
So it was right before Batman.
I love how you have to equate everything with.
Batman or Star Wars.
Kevin Smith measures everything in Jaws. It's either bigger or smaller than Jaws.
You know how you did that show where me and Nicole had to give the opposites are hall pass list.
Mhm.
I swear to God, I don't care what anybody says. Kevin Smith will be on your list. You'll marry Kevin Smith.
You would. At least you would ask Kevin
That's
Smith
his
to be
man
in
crush.
partnership.
For real.
He'd be like, "Can we have a partnership?
Yeah, can we just
Can we like just live together,
can we
but
be like
not?"
hetero life mates?
Yup.
But
Just be roommates forever.
mhm.
Can I just come home and see you every day?
I don't think that Jay would allow that.
His wife.
No,
Jay is,
Jay.
Jay and Silent
Jay
Bob.
Mears.
Oh,
I think he'd put his foot down. He'd
Yeah.
be like, "No, bitch."
he always
Lunchbox
yelled at me
is
about
mine.
Harry
Maybe you can be the
Styles, and I hear
tripod
more about
of the
Kevin
group.
Smith than Harry
There you go.
Styles.
Nobody likes Harry Styles.
Nobody likes Kevin Smith.
Oh, you don't make him cry in front of all of his friends.
Other
Yeah.
than that Tusk movie was
That
we
was
took-
the shittiest.
when we took
Never-
Tyler. I
never
never
go.
talked to Tyler after that day.
Why would he talk to any of us again?
I
Your dad takes us to
Well,
the worst
did you
movie
a
on
favor.
the planet of
You did.
Earth.
did you a favor. We took
That was messed
TJ
up.
That was
and
terrible.
and this boy
wor-
at the time that she liked,
The worst show ever.
and we took him to a Kevin Smith movie, Tusk,
And it was just.
and it was way more fucked up than any of us had any idea we were in for. And then they never talked again.
Never. It was for the best, but still, it was a messed up movie. I would have never talked to me again either. If my ooh, what is her dad into?
What the fuck are these people
Her
doing?
dad's gonna turn me into a tusk.
Into a walrus.
Still
He's
to
gonna
this
take my
day,
skin.
I love that movie. It is
That-
fucked
I
up.
mean, when you
but
look at
it's-
it, like that's a pretty, like that's just off the wall, like, or what was that other movie with the sausages running around?
That's the next movie in that trilogy.
Oh, it was part of
Yoga
Tusk?
Hosers.
Yoga hosers.
Oh, it's like
Yeah, it's part of what he calls his True North trilogy, and the next one is
that
supposed to
trilogy's
be
fucked up.
the next movie is supposed to be called Moose Jaws, and it's supposed to be about a moose, but the moose is like going around killing people.
Maybe he should slow down on the pot smoking.
Yeah, because that sausage one was funny though. I don't care what anyone says. That was
Okay,
a
but
good
the
one.
tusk, that was
sick almost.
that was demented.
Mhm.
That was sick.
It was
but
fucked
the
up.
sausage one had me laughing. Like
I don't
like,
think I watched it because Tusk threw me off so bad. I
The
could
interesting thing about Tusk, though, is it was created in a conversation just like this.
like,
Him-
oh, if we make a movie.
Him and his friend, the guy that used to be his producer, Scott Mosier, were sitting around doing a podcast, and
Never... Okay, but they didn't think that through.
How do you come up with that though in a conversation? Like, hey, buddy, let's make a movie about a guy that we
Well,
turn
they-
into a walrus and
what they-
stitch a walrus suit around him.
what they were
Well, skin. It was a real walrus.
And then they bent his bones and everything to be like a walrus.
Walrus, and he was all like,
the the thing about it is they were talking about how nice people in Canada are, and there's this story about
Yeah, but they always kill Kenny.
they do always kill Kenny.
How nice are they, eh?
There was a story about a college student that read about a guy that had a room for rent in a bathroom at a bar, and he called the guy, and he went there, and I guess the guy.
Yeah, we watched the movie.
Well, no,
no, the guy didn't.
this is the
This
real
is
story.
The real
Oh.
story.
This guy went and he stayed with this guy, and I think he locked him up for months and months before he finally got away from the dude or something. So he's a crazy guy. So then they're talking about that
Like
event.
that is for real?
Yeah,
But the walrus part ain't.
Yeah, the
so
walrus
where did the
part isn't.
How did they get the walrus idea?
because
though?
they were just two of them sitting there laughing about this fucked up ass story, and then Kevin was like, "Oh yeah," and then I'm sure he probably fucking, turned him into a walrus. Or,
and then he was
and-
like,
then they were like, "Well, or somebody says somebody's gonna make a movie about this," and he's like, "Fuck that! I should make a movie about this." And then he did this thing where he's like,
There's an octopus at the end.
"Yeah," he's like, "Should I?
Remember that?
mm-hmm.
We were all like, "Are
I
you
was scarred
serious?
after
It's a
that
fucking
movie.
Oh, that
octopus.
octopus movie."
I don't think I could ever forget that movie. Like, it started off good, too. Like, we were all like,
Yeah,
this is about to be a good movie. And then all of a sudden, the scene when they show the walrus, we're all like, what the fuck? All of us looked at each other like, did that just happen? And even it would look like an aquarium. Like that was just messed up.
Who's feeding him
That was
actual
methed
fish?
up.
That was methed up.
That was methed up. But I mean,
All right. I didn't bring in the power cord for the laptop, so we're going to have to wrap this up.
well,
Sounds good.
good day.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us.
Thanks.
Thanks, Teesha and TJ, for hanging out with me. And we'll see you guys next time we get together.